Alright, voiceover Beth is coming in nice and early for this video. I wanted to show some of the trips I went on with my friend Kat, who was visiting me, and Kat is one of my best friends and has appeared quite a lot in my videos over the year, as it happens. We went to a gallery called Salt Mills, which is featured in my videos a couple of times, and it's a very dangerous place because it has a art shop and bookshop downstairs, and then you go upstairs and there's another bookshop and an antique store and a home store, but it's mostly the art and bookshops that are the dangerous parts for me. And yeah, it's one of my favourite places to take people to, so enjoy this little mini tour of it. And we stopped for lunch and I drew my drink because otherwise I end up drinking it way too quickly and not actually enjoying it. And these things cost money. I also had some Biscoff and banana ice cream and it was super tasty. And where we were sitting had like a good view of like the kitchen area, so I decided to draw like the interesting lights and stuff there and one of the staff members working because my heart went right out to them because it was super warm that day. I know Kat watches my videos eventually, so Kat, just wants to say you're alive my life, thank you for hanging out with me. We played some Mario Party for a bit, and my friend just cooked Kat, which segues me quite nicely into the fact that we got cats! We've actually had them since the end of July, but we wanted to make sure they settled in a little bit before we made any kind of announcement. We adopted them from a family who were moving abroad, so they are well loved and they have settled in quite nicely, and they are called Enzo and Pepsi. Those are what the previous owners called them, but we decided to keep their names because it's their identity, you know? They did take some time to warm up to us, which is why I really love this clip of me stroking Pepsi, because this was the first time he'd actually cuddled up to me, and he's so cute, I love him so much. And yeah, they've really just helped us so much in the house. Like, they are just such wonderful characters, and they're just so sweet, and I'm so glad we got them. And yeah, they are two lovely Bengal boys, and I am so happy we have them. Here I am drawing them in my sketchbook for the first time. I haven't quite nailed down how I want them to look yet and how I want to characterise them through my art, partially because I'm not actually that used to drawing cats, but it was good for first practice and just to try and start getting down their markings and stuff and figuring out what colours I like to use for them. But yes, we have Enzo and Pepsi in our lives now, and I am so happy that they're there. Okay, so I actually want to talk about something that happened to me during the weekend just gone. I'm recording this voice on the 18th. I'm just gonna talk because this is something that happened, and I do kind of want to share it, like the goods and the bads of it, but also to say that I'm not really okay about it. I'm not really alright. I think it's important to talk about these things in these kind of videos because I think this is going to be a very art focused monthly vlog anyway. Not a lot has happened. So I had work on the 13th, and during that job I got heat exhaustion. I wasn't the only one that day who actually got heat exhaustion at this event I was photographing, but I got heat exhaustion and then some. So I've had heat exhaustion before. It sucks. Like, it's not great, but usually you can recover just fine. And there's kind of like an amount of time for you to have symptoms and it's quote unquote fine, and then you kind of just get over it. I was not okay. I knew something was wrong when I wasn't keeping down my food, and I went back to my hotel, tried to cool down best I could and rehydrate, but I wasn't keeping my water down, and that's not good. That is not okay. And after a bunch of calling to like non-emergency lines and heck even an emergency line at one point, I eventually got a taxi to A&E because I was in a hotel room on my own and it just wasn't safe for me to be on my own with what was happening. I was there for about 9.5 hours. I am recovered physically from it. Like, I was given a bunch of stuff, but like mentally I'm not really okay. And I haven't been okay since it, and like things might feel a bit slow for me, I think because of that. And I'm not gonna lie, things have happened that have not particularly helped my mood as a result, but I'm just a bit bleh about it all. I was in A&E for so long that I think I ended up almost not needing to be seen for my heat exhaustion. It kind of sorted itself out, and then it was dehydration because I was not giving myself any liquids, any food. I was not risking it happening again because like my throat was hurting, everything was hurting. I had this horrible headache. I was given some anti-puking medication and also a drip to rehydrate me. And something that makes me smile about the whole ordeal is the way we tested to see if I was okay to be let go, whereas I was given some tea and biscuits to see if I kept them down, and it was like, alright love, have a tea and biscuit, see how you doing. It's like, keeping them down? Okay, you can go. Not quite that callous. Like they did like some final checks to make sure I was okay, and I had to say if I felt okay to go. And I did feel okay to go, and like I was fine after that, and physically I am fine. Like, I'm fully recovered from the ordeal. Mentally, oh boy, got some recovering to do from that. And it's not even the most traumatic thing that could have happened, but the whole thing wasn't great. I feel it's important to talk about it, you know, the highs and lows of artistic life, and this is a major thing that's happened to me this month, in a month where so far not a huge amount has actually happened, so I need to talk about something, and this will do. This will do. And to say to myself and to everyone else, it's okay that going through that and life continuing, the highs and lows of life afterwards, and not being okay is okay. I will be fine. But that really sucked, and it still sucks what happened. But I will be okay, and the month will continue. Bad things happen, and I'll be okay. I went to a gallery in Leeds with my housemate to see a couple of exhibitions there. The one I was really keen to see was something called the Witches' Institute, which is this kind of imagining of what society would look like if a section of it was run by witches. There was also one called I Am Not Myself, which was about kind of masking yourself and very kind of spiritual aspects from where the artist was from. as someone who participates in live role-playing, I really enjoyed the Witches Institute, especially as an exhibition, but also I am not myself as this idea of masquerading, because that's a big part of live role-playing, is becoming a new character. And I felt a bit weird taking that from the exhibition, as much of it is about African practices. And I know with exhibitions and art, it's about what you take from it, but given that I am drawing something that wasn't, I think, intended from the artist based on my own experiences, I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but it almost feels a little too much like projecting myself onto these. But together, I really love these two exhibitions in this exploration of different places and different senses of selves and kind of almost ritualistic sides to things, which is a huge part of what I get from live role playing. And I loved seeing it all come together like this in these two different but kind of linked exhibitions, and I'm really, really glad I went. But yeah, I loved all the stuff in this exhibition especially. I loved trying to pan around to get the details on this, whilst my housemate was following behind me as they tried not to get into shot, and ended up looking really creepy whilst doing it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be interested in knowing what you as individuals took from it, from just like my footage of the spaces. And yeah, that was my very helpful and interesting day out at an art gallery in Leeds. And now you're having some footage from a date I went on. We decided to be absolutely sapphic nonsense and read some poetry to each other whilst we were in this rose garden in a park not too far from us, and these were some of the poems I read out to her. But there was a brass band playing in the park that day, so whilst we did decide to read poetry to each other anyway, we moved our date a little bit and sat and watched the brass band playing, because why not? Like, what an awesome thing to happen. And it was just such a highlight of like the month, really. Because it was such a lovely day, I took a lot of photos, and I really wanted to capture the spirit of it and how it made me feel. And I was like, well, why not put some stuff in my sketchbook, because this is how I want to remember things. And, you know, what is a sketchbook if not idea exploration and almost like a little journal for me? So yeah, I decided to paint the view we had from where we were sitting on our picnic blanket. And we were starting to get a little bit hungry, so we were like, okay, one more song, then we're going to go. And then it ended up being, the final song, ended up being a medley of the Pirates of the Caribbean music, which is one of my favourite movie scores ever, and I was just so, so happy. And there were these two little girls playing with bubbles, like they weren't even part of the same family, they were just playing together. And they were so cute, and I just had to draw them. And you can actually hear the youngest one like going, bubbles! And squealing and having a great time. So I just want to leave that audio in as it is.
Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about the month and what's coming up, what I've got planned, what's going on. But the first thing I want to do is talk about that voice recording I did about when I was really ill, because I wasn't in a particularly great headspace at the time. I am mentally a lot better now. I've had a few healing days. And there's a few things I forgot to mention, and I forgot to mention because I really wasn't doing too great. The people who hired me when I got heat exhaustion were wonderful about the whole thing. The hospital I went to, the staff there did the best they could. Everyone was lovely, cannot fault any of them. It is not their fault it took 9.5 hours for me to leave the hospital. So I just wanted to make that very clear. So, August. I haven't done too much in terms of filming content for this vlog, mainly because I've been working, but I've also been working on a very big piece that I've been conceptualizing, sketching and inking throughout this month, and I don't really like to film that process. I may at some point, but not yet. So I'm just going to share what I've done so far. This is the process, so it is ready to be painted. I might get this done this month, I might not, because I'm going away for a few days. There'll be more on that in a bit. This is what I've been working on and the reason why I haven't been doing much filming this month. For the rest of the month, I am going away for a few days. I'm going to visit a friend of mine who I made through a fandom space during the start of 2020, and it's really, really nice that we've remained such good friends throughout it all. Even though I've moved on from the fandom we shared to begin with, we still talk a lot, and so I'm going to go down to Hastings to visit her. I'm really nervous about the journey. It's gonna be like a 5-hour train journey, and I don't have headphones, so hopefully that'll be some content. I wanted to chat a bit about just some fandom stuff I've gone into, because it's a big part of my life, but I don't tend to talk about it so much on vlogs. But I recently finished Sandman. Really, really enjoyed it. I have never read the comics, even though in this household we have like I think 3 versions of the comics. I've never read them, just for no particular reason. I just never really got around to it. And then the TV series came out and I really liked it. I really liked the TV series. It reminded me of a project I was doing back in 2020 where I was drawing and painting my dreams, but I kind of fell out of love with it because I was planning to put them all into one sketchbook, but the sketchbook wasn't good. It's this sketchbook and it's an Arteza sketchbook, and I'm sorry Arteza, this sketchbook ain't it. Like, let's just have a look at what I did before. I really like a lot of the stuff I did, and I'm not going to show the second one because it's got a few people's phobias in it, so let's just skip that. Because yeah, I get really visually intense dreams. I know the meaning behind them, not like in a this means that I'm stressed about money, although this one actually is because I was stressed about money. I kind of can follow the narrative of them quite nicely, and like they're such strong visual pieces. I have like so many dreams written down that I would love to paint and I would love to make into a series, because of like Sandman being this whole world and that meaning behind them. And I like the idea that a lot of the characters represent something in me. This first character being the adventurer with the heart of gold, that yearning for like simple adventures and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really study dreams that often. It was just an interesting visual project. But I've written down a bunch of them. Some of these are like gold. Like, I haven't looked at these in ages. Triceratops made of stone walking along a craggy beach, walking towards the sea. People are following him, visible footprints. I really want to draw that. That's so cool. What else is there? Female going down a rope, surrounded by bunk beds in a cave, letters and envelopes on the bed. A cafe in France. I had to stay up all night because I forgot to book myself a hotel room, and I had to try and stay awake so I wouldn't get kicked out. A man sat with me and we bought each other caffeinated drinks and books. I did sleep a little, but it was all fine. Really comforting dream. I just really want to share that. I love the weirdness of it all, and like the series, the Sandman series has really given me this urge to do it again. And like, I know I've improved from what I did in here, and like there are some images I'll be sad to kind of lose in terms of I need to try again, but I did it once before, I can do it again. So yeah, that was a very quick check-in because I haven't really had too much to talk about, but I am feeling a lot better, like physically and mentally. I'm not 100% on either, but I'll get there. Yeah. Arty stuff, Augusty stuff. Let's see what else there is.
hunting? Have you considered? Hello. And I'm rounding out this vlog by showing some footage from a tourney I went to for the Platinum Jubilee because it was just such fun. Why wouldn't I do that? It was just absolutely great and just really nerdy and fun. This was who we were cheering for, who was representing winter, and we really got into like the cheering and coming up with chants for it. Like, you get out of it what you put into it, you know, and we just like absolutely just got into character of being at a tournament. It was Spring who won. Well, Autumn and Spring won, but Autumn let Spring kind of have the glory of it all. It was being very chivalrous, and we got to meet the horses, and we also got to meet the riders, well, the knights really, and I got very into character.
Of course a day off. This is winter.
I've cut out my random babble, but just imagine I'm just being very, very fangirly. And yeah, this is me rounding out the vlog here. I got really inspired to carry on painting my high medieval piece, and hopefully you'll see more of that on my social medias. So enjoy some final shots of our wonderful cats, and if you like this video, give it a like. If you have something to say, give a comment. If you want to see more, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. Take care.